Oh, someone said our podcast felt natural.
Was it?
Yeah. They literally told me, they're like, oh yeah, like everything I watched through the entire thing, and it felt so natural, so it was nice. I was like, oh yeah, it's not like we had a script in the beginning.
No. Hello guys, welcome back to the... Are you really putting lipstick on right now?
Come on, let's go.
Okay, welcome back to the Souls Harbour podcast. We are so happy to have you guys back here.
My headphones.
I can't take you seriously, but we're happy to have you guys back here. And everyone new, welcome. This is a safe place to share your thoughts and experiences on mental health. Today, we're going to talk about family.
We love that.
So we're going to talk about family related to mental health. You know, I feel like Nikki has more experience in that topic. I will just be like adding on stuff. But she has the tea. My tea is not that hot. So, oh, did you get the joke? Tea's not that hot. Okay, that's okay. Thought it was funny. If you laughed at that joke, DM me.
Damn.
That means we're friends. Okay.
Or you could be more than friends.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. If you haven't watched it yet, it's on our YouTube channel at the Souls Harbour. We talked about us, selfish as bitches.
Okay, are we wrong?
But, you know, in life you have to be selfish. Anyways, we talked about our experiences, and we will talk way more, like about high school and all of that. But yeah, if you haven't watched the first episode, go on, subscribe. And also, I wanted to add it on that. Oh my gosh. I wanted to add on that. And also, if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, make sure to send us a DM and we will love to have you on. And for now, we will not be having any guests just because of COVID and the protocols.
But yeah, if you did talk to us about being a guest, you will definitely be here, just not now.
Yeah, for sure. Our list is extremely long, but that's okay. We still have a spot for you. We will make time for you to come on here and share everything you want, you know? All right, let's get into today's topic with our co-host, Nikki.
Yes, hello. It is I.
Did you watch Bridgerton?
Oh my God. No, not yet.
I don't think I can be friends with you if you haven't watched it.
I'm sorry. Like, I've been catching up on my anime. Anyways, so today's topic is family, as we have a wedgie. As we previously mentioned. So let's start with like introducing who we are, who our families are.
Okay.
Yeah, and all that. So Tat, if you would like to go first.
Okay, I have like the normal Asian parents.
You are not normal in any way. This girl came from Africa, but she's Chinese, but she's Mauritius, but she's an island girl. Like, what is this?
Okay, so I'm from Mauritius Island. My parents are from there. And also, a lot of people ask me, they're like, so who's Chinese in your family? I'm like, both of them. Oh. Yeah, no, I don't get it. Well, it's okay. I don't expect people to understand. But pretty much, both of my parents are Chinese Mauritian, and so am I. Mm-hmm. And so I also have a little sister, by the way. And we moved to Canada about 4 years ago now. We were in Mauritius Island, and, you know, in Mauritius, mental health is not it's not really spoken of at all. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't even know what is mental health, although I do want to say that when I was in high school, I did have sessions with a psycholog. Is that how you say it?
A what?
A psycholog?
Psychologist?
No.
What are you talking about? Well, just put it in the screen.
Okay. So, I'm just going to say it in French. Psychologue. Okay, so I was looking. I had like sessions because our school our high school provided someone to talk to, someone who can listen to you. And I was really going there just because I wanted to miss class. Bruh! So, because they would be like, okay, I have to go in the middle of the class. I have to go. Mm-hmm. And we would just not say anything. And I feel like that was a waste of my time because I could have said a lot of things, but I just did not. But anyways, all of that to say, in Mauritius, we just do not talk much about mental health. Depression is a thing for adults, but not for teenagers. They just don't talk about mental health. And so we moved to Canada. We moved to Calgary first, and then we moved to Toronto. And yeah, I have a pretty basic family, and you're going to understand the meaning of basic when Nikki's going to describe her family.
Yes, my family. I was born in Canada, but then when I was 2 months, my mom Amazon Prime me to the Philippines. And then I grew up there until I was 6 or 7 years old. So yeah, and then when I was 7, I came back here and I lived here ever since. So yeah, like my family is pretty big. Like right now, it's a whole other mess of like family trees. But the important thing is I was raised in the Philippines for a quarter of my life. I was raised Filipino, Catholic, and yeah, all my family members right now are currently Filipino, except for 2.
Camera.
Sorry, my bad. We had some technical difficulties.
Like usual.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, as I was saying, I was raised in a very, like, Catholic, all the prayers and all that. So when I came back here, my mom didn't really practice that. Like, she was obviously still Catholic. She still prayed, still went to church. But she wasn't really, like, strict on anything except school. So, oh, my God. I remember in grade 2, like, we had this test for like, knowing the whole Canadian map, right? So my mom, she printed out 10 sheets of paper with the Canadian map in it, and she told me, with no words on the paper, label every single city and province. And I'm like, I was like 7. Like, I would be beside her labeling all these cities. Whenever I got something wrong, she'd hit me. So, that's like immigrant parent type of thing. How they teach you is through fear and literally verbal abuse. So that's just kind of like normalized for me. If she would help me with my homework, it was the scariest thing ever because she'd literally hit me if I got something wrong.
That was not my mom would not help me with homeworks.
Oh.
Like, here's the thing, and compare it, like if we're talking about school, in Mauritius it's very different because after school we go to tuitions.
Yeah.
And then we do our homeworks. But if I had trouble with my homeworks, it would kind of be like, okay, if you go with mom is not gonna do anything because, she can't really help as much. But if I go with my dad, he's going to be patient for a while. And then he's just going to be like, okay, you're just so stupid at this point. But I don't think my parents had to help me as much unless I asked for it.
True. The thing with me is that, like, I've always been a smart kid. Like, ever since, like, kindergarten, like, I would always get perfect scores. But because I think my mom just has, like, that anxiety that now that I'm in Canada, I won't do as much work because, like, education in the Philippines when you're younger is a lot more strict. So, like, they would literally make you have all of these homework and have all of these different types of graduation. So, obviously, my mom wanted me, like, at the top always. And for a while, I was at the top always. But then, the older I got, the less I really started to care about it. No, it's not that I didn't care about it. It's more just like I knew what was more important than the other. So also, I think the reason why my mom was so hard on me on school is because she was the only one technically raising me as a parent. Like, there was no co-parenting. Like, ever since I was young, my mom and dad were just, like, together. But then they finalized the divorce in Canada, but they can't get divorced in Philippines because that's not a thing. So I think she was, like, a lot more strict on me just because she was the only parent raising me.
Definitely, yeah. Maybe she felt like you would just kind of, like, fall out and just not be as you were before because things change, right?
Yeah.
But she made sure that you kind of kept it up anyways. Which I find is good. Also, if, like, parents are strict and they yell and everything, now that I'm looking at it, I don't mind it because I'm like, this is how I learn.
Yeah.
And when I see parents being nice and all that, I'm like, bro, no.
Yeah. You see white parents, like, letting their kids go fucking crazy, and you're, like, in the grocery store thinking, what the? My mom would have beat my ass by that.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, I'm not saying that, like, beating your kid
It's a good thing.
Is a good thing. But, like, in the Asian way of doing it,
it's just straight up abuse.
Yeah, but, like, honestly, it's so rude. Like, I'm talking. Something serious, but I feel like it's also the influence.
Yeah.
It's the influence. And do I want to raise my kids the way that my mom raised me?
Nope.
Yes.
Oh!
I would be, and I am already with my little sister. I'm very strict and bossy. My parents are like, yo, calm down. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But, like, at the end of the day, a parent just wants the best. So, yeah, I would raise my kid. I would not beat the kid and traumatize the kid like my mom did. But I would still be strict, a strict parent.
That's true. Like, I currently live with 2 of my younger siblings. And to be honest, they listen to me way more than they listen to anyone else in the house. It's kind of, like, weird. Because I always told myself, like, there's no way I'm going to raise my kids the way my mom raised me. But looking at it now, she is literally the best mom. Right?
Yeah, because you kind of see the results now of how you are.
Yeah.
It made me stronger. It made me just a person I want my kids to be. So, yeah. I mean, I don't blame my mom for anything and my parents in general for anything because at the end of the day, I get it.
Right, but there's also, like, obviously some stuff I want to change about the way my mom raised me.
For sure.
But, like, raising my kids the same way, some of them I would keep the same. But all of that, like, unnecessary yelling, all of that, like, when she would come home from a bad day, she'd take it out on me.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Just, like things that I see now that aren't healthy.
Yes,
that made me, like, fade away and disconnect from my mom for, like, a really long time. So, yeah, obviously there are some things that I'd want to change, but most of the time I'd keep it. So, like, now I learned that that's not the way you raise your kids. Yeah.
Can we talk about, like, how parents may not understand or accept that their kids have mental health problems? Honestly, I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? It's an influence. Grandparents influence their kids, which are my parents, right?
Yes.
I do not blame my parents for not understanding mental health problems that today we all face and talk publicly about.
Yeah.
Because they just don't understand because they haven't been as educated as we are today. And like I said back in Mauritius, for me, I haven't heard much about mental health.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised that my parents that it would be hard for my parents to understand mental health issues.
Yeah.
And also, if you are going through things, you have to, that's just an advice, but try to understand that it's hard for a parent to know that their kid is not okay. it is hard to accept as a parent, and it's also hard to help. How is a parent supposed to help their kid, you know? I mean, there's a lot of ways, definitely a lot of ways, but it may be hard at the beginning for a parent to accept that my kid is depressed, that my kid is going through stuff.
Because they're going to think that they failed as a parent. And that's, like, hard to accept.
And that's going to drive them crazy. They're going to get mad.
Yeah, so they're going to be on the defensive, like, that's not my fault. Like, they know it is. It's just that they won't talk about it. They won't accept it because they always want to think that they're right. It's just, like, the natural instinct for a parent.
I feel like it depends. Like, if it's an issue, like a family issue, then yeah, for sure. If it's something else that, I don't know, maybe school, maybe friends. Honestly, I don't know your parent. But if your parent is open to listen, communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate, like, for me, even though my mom was strict, and she still is, even though she's strict, we build a very good relationship where we always talk about things, the good and the bad. And we, you know, like every day after school, I would just come and we would talk and talk about like my friends, this and that. And it's good. It feels good to have that communication, that relationship with a parent. And if you know, just start little by little. I know that today, teenagers are more open to converse with their parents and like trust them when it comes to stuff. Some not. It obviously depends on the parent for sure. But if you're going through things and you're scared to tell your parents, it's all about how you communicate it to them. It's how you try to address the problem. It's how you phrase it, you know. Yeah, because I feel like do not push your parents away, because they are your family and they are the one who you will be able to rely on every single day of your life. That's true. That's right. Like, they are your parents still. Like, the last resort that you should be going to is, like, leaving, you know? Obviously, if the situation does come to that level, then it would be safer and healthier for you to leave, or either one of you to leave. So, like, not all people are as lucky as having a good bond or relationship with their parent. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, with my mom, we weren't always tight. You know, obviously, when I was younger, I was so, like, you know, close to her because she's the only one I relied on, except, like, her and my grandma, you know. So, in grade 8, when I got bullied, my mom kind of, like, she figured out what happened. I don't know how. I don't remember. But she tried talking to me about it. And then whenever I tried to, like, tell her that it wasn't my fault, like, I knew it wasn't my fault, but I was still sorry about it, she blamed me for the incident. Like, she said, why would you tell that to Diana anyway? Like, why would you do that to your friend, having a crush on the same guy? Like, I can't control my emotions. I wasn't making a move on that guy, right? So I was just, like, ranting to Diana's. And then Diana's my sister, by the way. When she talked to me about that whole incident and how she made it seem like she was blaming me for it, like, that's when I cut her off. Like, that to me was so surprising because I thought she'd be on my side, right? So any incident that would happen with me after that, even if it wasn't my fault, or even if, like, she knew I didn't mean to, she would still put all the blame on me. So that's when I completely just, like, stopped talking to her. I didn't want any emotional connection. Yeah, so most of my life, my mom was there to support me financially, but not emotionally. So I want to ask, why didn't you talk about what happened in grade 8 to your mom?
Like, right now?
No, like, when that happened.
When it happened?
Yeah.
We did. We talked about it. She asked me, like, first she asked me what happened. So I told her.
Was it after she knew?
It was after she knew.
Oh, but what about before?
Before?
Yeah.
Oh, because, like, it was all over Facebook. We were fighting on Facebook. Like, us and me and the grade.
Oh, okay.
No, not me and my mom. I was like, oh my God. No. But yeah, first it was happening on Facebook, and then that's probably why. First it was on Facebook, like chatting, and then she talked to me about it, and then I emailed my teacher about it, like about the fight and what happened, and then the school contacted her about what happened, because by that time all the grade 8 teachers knew. They had to talk to the entire grade about it, and they were like threatening to cancel graduation, threatening to cancel the graduation trip just because of that. Like,
were they on your side?
Yeah, because they viewed it as bullying.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
your mom, why did she blame you for it?
Because she thought I was like, what's the English translation for it? She thought I was malande, which means like I was a flirt. Yeah, so obviously she didn't want to raise no hoe. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I didn't really see exactly what was wrong with me having feelings for another guy. But the thing about the girl that liked the guy, the other girl, my friend, is that like I felt completely bad about it because she was my friend, and like this had to happen to her, and she was like so innocent and all that. But, like I told you, like, when she talked to me about it and she yelled at me for it, she hit me for it, I didn't want nothing to do with her.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Mm-hmm. So, if you could, now that you're looking back at that situation, what would you do differently in terms of the relationship with you and your mom?
The thing is, I did approach her about it, like, a couple times. But, like, whenever she would see that I'm about to talk about it, she would be like, it's over, it's okay, like...
I feel like your mom was hurt that happened to you.
Probably.
Maybe in the moment she may have blamed it on you, and she may have yelled at you, but I feel like inside, mainly with Asian parents, they have a big ego.
Yeah.
So maybe she was hurt. She was probably extremely hurt about it. Maybe she didn't know what to do to help you out, right? And so maybe she just kind of kept it in, this anger, and she pulled it out the wrong way. But I feel like as a mother, she loves you so much, and she was probably just extremely hurt that happened to her daughter. Like, when things would happen to me in elementary school, my dad would pull up to school. He would yell. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, he would make such a big, like a scene that... Sometimes I would not tell my dad because I know how impulsive he is. But now I'm like, yeah, go fuck him up, you know? But all of that to say that your mom herself may have been in a lot of confusion, a lot of anger. She was probably hurt. She didn't know how to express her feelings. Mainly with Asian parents. They don't know how to express their feelings. And they don't want you to see how hurt and sensitive they are. Mainly with two women, maybe it would have been a lot harder. You know, if your dad was here or a male figure was here, maybe like she could have discussed it with someone.
True. Like she had my grandma at that time, and she told my grandma like everything. Like she trusted her that much. So, but like the thing about like a male figure, I feel like I never needed one in my life because I never had one, except for my titos, right?
Right.
So, like, yeah, like, I felt like I never needed my dad to be there.
That's also because you never experienced a male figure to be in your life.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you kind of adapt to the fact that there's no male figure in your life. But then if you did, you would see the difference eventually.
I would probably see the difference. Like, so, I hated being away from my titos, obviously. Like, when I was a kid, I would always want my tito Eugene with me. So, what the fuck? That's so weird to say it now.
But yeah, she's trying to say that she needs no man.
Yeah, like, I need no man. Like, I think that's why I'm such a big feminist today. It's because, like, I've always had girls in my life.
Right.
And, yeah, like, Plus style.
Yeah.
Whenever my mom would get into a relationship, in my entire life, she only had 3. My dad, her other boyfriend, and her current fiance, right? So... she's been, like, engaged. Now they're, like, married at heart with Diana's dad. So, whenever my mom would get into a relationship or be involved with a guy, I would throw tantrums. When she first got together with Diana's dad, I hated him so much. I fucking hated this guy. I wanted to kill him. Like, it was at that point. So, like, I think, like, looking at it now, I actually figured this out, like, a while ago. It's probably because I've never had, like, a dad, you know?
For sure.
It's so weird calling anyone else dad.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I call him Tito. I don't call him dad. Never have I ever called anyone dad. It just feels so weird. Not even my own dad. Like, I never, like, what the fuck? I don't
Well, that's another story.
Yeah. Like,
but also
it's just
because
so weird.
I feel like, because I know, I don't know if you would want to share, but because I know your the story with your blood dad,
Blood dad.
biological dad, that I can understand why it clashes when there's some kind of male figure coming into your life, mainly when it's a dad, you know. So I feel like that impacted how you feel about your current your Tito. Yeah. I don't want to call it. I don't know how to call him.
Yeah.
But I do feel that's the reason why it's harder for you to have anyone with your mom.
Yeah.
I feel like you've seen your mom hurt and go through shit that you just don't want it. You know?
Yeah.
And that's okay. I feel like if it was a different relationship with your current Tito, it would have been different.
Definitely, yeah. Like, I see the bad side to not being, like, to not having a dad, but I also see the good side. And I don't think I wanted to have it any other way, like my current life now. Because, like, you know, I have 2 adorable little siblings living with me. And I also have siblings on my biological dad's side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, again, at the same time, like, maybe you'd be like, oh, it's actually nice to have one. But at the same time, your Tito, who you do not accept calling a dad or whatever, he's not the best, I would say. He's far from being the best, which I also feel like that's why you're rejecting him in your life. But if it was someone else, I feel like maybe the relationship and the thought of having a dad in your life would be so much more different than if it was someone else.
The thing is, though, like, when he first got together with my mom, he did try. Like, obviously, that's what he's supposed to do. If he didn't, I would have kicked him out, bro. So, he did. Like, he bought me an iPod. He did try to take me to places. But, like, obviously, I was traumatized with my dad. Because, did I tell you the story of how he left?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you anyway.
Okay. Well, tell them, not me.
Yeah. I was 7. We were, like, in our oldest apartment. And he came to visit for maybe a couple weeks, a couple days. So he tried to fix his relationship with my mom at that time. So it was me, my mom, my dad, and my grandma living together at the time, right? For some reason, he wanted to go. Oh, no. I wanted him to go, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I just remember throwing a tantrum one day. I was really mad about something. I don't remember. And then at this time, the person taking care of me after school, because my grandma also had to go to work, was my friend Kate. Like, she and her family, I would go to their place until my grandma came to pick me up. She had an older brother. His name is Aljon. And he would swear. Like, he, like, plays video games, and I would hear him swear all the time. So when I was throwing a tantrum and he was trying to calm me down, like my dad, I was, like, swearing at him. I was like, fuck you, go away, you bitch, and all that. I was 7 years old. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I was just, like, there, kicking stuff, breaking stuff, yelling. And then he said, do you really want me to go? And I said, yeah, fuck you. So, yeah, he's like, okay, I'll go. I won't come back. And that's the last I heard from him for a while, for, like, years. And he tried to fix my relationship with him again when he came to visit me at my mom's dental office at the time. It was 2010. And he bought me a 3DS.
Is it the one? Yeah, I played with it.
Yeah. The blue one?
Yeah.
So he bought me that. And I was supposed to go to Wonderland with him and meet my younger brother. His name is Jaden. He was like really, like, I think he was like 1 year old at that time. So once he got my 3DS, I started feeling sick. Like, I didn't want anything to do with this guy again. Like, I wanted to physically vomit. So he asked me, he was leading me to his car, and I said, I want to go home, right? So he took me back to my mom, and I never saw him after that until
Right.
Yeah.
If you've been through something similar than Nikki, I've never been through this, so I can't really say much. But maybe what I can tell you is that this anger that you have inside, try to let it out, and then try to cry a lot about it. Let it out, cry. But at the end of the day, the more you grow, try to like forgive of that situation, forgive that this person is that way, forgive that all of this happened, and move on in your life. I feel like that's the most mature thing you could ever do. It's not to stay in that anger, but it's actually to move forward. Yeah. Forgive and, like, forget about it, really.
Actually, don't forget about it.
Yeah, forgive about it, move on. But yeah, try to let that anger out and all of these feelings that you have, because at the end of the day, it's just not worth it, And as you can tell, Nikki, after, even with the other male figures that came in her life, the relationship was no good. And that's not necessarily because of how your Tito is. It's because of the past relationship you had with your dad. And as long as, like, if it was at that time when, your Tito came into your life, and if you forgave your dad for whatever things he did, maybe your relationship with your Tito would have been a lot better.
It definitely would have. But at the same time, I was super young, right?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, like,
definitely.
For half the time, I didn't know what was happening, right? I didn't know why I was so angry at him. I didn't know why I was yelling. And that made me cry even more. Like, that specific, like, time is what I remember.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, that impacted my relationship with my mom.
Yes.
And my relationship with any guy that she interacted with.
Right.
I became super jealous and, like, scared, right?
Right.
So I don't think my mom completely understood how traumatic that was for me. She just thought that I was just angry, right?
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, I kind of realized, like, I need to let this go, and I did. It was easy for me to. But I think the reason why it was so easy is because I haven't seen this guy in years, right?
Yes, for sure.
So I haven't seen this guy in years. But I think the reason why it was so easy for me to accept is because JB and Niall was already born. Like, I already have these two. I already have my siblings and my dad's side. Like, I'm still super grateful about that. And I also kind of realized that if it wasn't for my mom and dad's separation, I wouldn't be living in a house. I wouldn't have 2 cars. And I wouldn't have my own room.
Right.
My own room.
Yeah. That's literally your photo shoot studio.
Yeah, for real.
If you're going through shit, remember the little things and be grateful for them. Don't expect your parents to understand everything, but don't also how do you say that? Don't assume that they don't care about you. Don't assume that they are not hurt. Don't assume their feelings, because they're just things that, they're just so good at keeping that in. They're just so good for you not to see.
Yeah, especially with immigrant parents. Like, they, at some level, already have anxiety. The way that they just cope with it is through hurting other people, it's through yelling, it's through all of that.
Yeah.
Because it's what their parents put on them, too.
So what would you advise someone who's going through the same thing to do?
If you're like me in a similar situation, sometimes it's not going to be easy for you to kind of accept the way that I did. I'm just going to let you know that, like, sometimes it's gonna take you years to at least forgive. But at the same time, what's important is that you don't forgive that person that caused you that trauma. For them, you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
You're not forgiving them because they deserve it.
Yeah.
It's not because they're crying about it, that they feel sorry about it. You're forgiving them for yourself. So
for
you can have
good.
that peace of mind. So you can have that like inner peace within yourself. You're not doing it for them.
Yeah, definitely. Forgiving, sometimes it's not forgiving it's not be like, okay, I forgive you for the shit you've done to me. It's more of like, I forgave you. I did not forget what you did. But I have peace of mind. And, if you see that person again, let's say you see your dad again, and you just go all out and, like, yell at him and all that, he's going to be like, okay, she's still, like, so immature and, like, okay. But if you go up to him and, like, be mature, have a proper conversation if you want to, or just simply ignore that person, not making a scene, that shows how much you grew, how mature you became. Yeah. And that's also going to make you feel better. I mean, when you fight with someone, that does not make you feel good. Even if you're right or wrong, that just doesn't make you feel good. And if you have something to tell that person, and things happen that you just don't want necessarily to converse with that person, go talk to a friend, someone, and let it out, but make them understand. Like, be like, okay, like, I'm impersonating someone, and then you're kind of, like, expressing your feelings, not directly to them, but it's all for you to be like, okay, I'm good. I let it all out. I'm okay now. You cried everything out, and you're fine. So, really, that's the best thing I could advise someone to do.
Like what she said, period.
Period. But was it hard for you to, because we're talking about a male figure, was it hard for you to, like, be in a relationship with a guy or have a boyfriend of some sort?
No. Because, I don't know, like, having a boyfriend or not having a boyfriend has always been my choice. It didn't really have anything to do with my dad or my mom or, like, religion or anything. It's just more like in high school, I told Ty, like, always, like, I don't need a man, period.
Yeah, we were saying that
until fucking grade 12. That was my choice too. Fuck you. Like,
yeah, we're like, we don't need no man.
Yeah.
We were fine.
Even if we were in a relationship, like, I didn't think I depended on him more.
No.
Yeah, because I don't know. Actually, on the good side, I think how I am in a relationship is related to my mom. Because, like, ever since I was, like, maybe 13, I've been doing things on my own. So, well, obviously not on my own, but, like, things, like, more independently, like, choosing my own high school, signing up for it, and, like, choosing my own university, cooking, cleaning, all that, taking care of my siblings. I've always been independent, except financially. So, I think that's how I am, like, how that impacted me with friends and with relationships.
Yeah. The fact that you've seen such a strong woman figure to look up to, that brought you up instead of pulling you down. And that's amazing. If you can look up to someone, follow them, What else was I going to say? Oh, my gosh. I'm blanking out. I don't have much to say on my side. Like, next to Nikki, my taste is not existed, really. But what I can tell you is that family is important. And also, what I wanted to say, I have something to say.
Okay.
The environment where you live in, so obviously if you live in your parents' house, the atmosphere, the environment will impact your mental health.
Yep.
And, when the mood is good, when everyone's happy, you're going to be happy. If something happens, you're going to be down. So I also feel like that has a huge importance in someone's mental health. You know, if there's constant yelling and all that, you're not going to be the best, you know?
No, honey, that's trauma right there.
Well, yeah, and also if it's like on a daily basis, you're just going to be like, I don't want to be there, you know, but it's your home.
But yeah, like family for me and Tat, we have different experiences. We go through different stuff.
Very different, yeah. It may be a little out of context, but if your parents or anyone older tells you, oh, like, you shouldn't be in a relationship.
Shut the fuck up. That's your choice. You do whatever you want.
I'm not for it. Like, I understand why adults advise you not to be in a relationship.
But how are you ever going to learn if they keep you from these things?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
No. I'm not saying, like, my parents haven't, yes, they did. But it depends on you. It depends on how you are. If you are that independent person, you know what you want, you know what you're doing and all that, good for you. If you're mature younger than, you know, you matured up younger than you're supposed to, good for you. But for me, when I was in elementary school and in high school, I would always seek that attention. I would always want to be in a relationship. And for what? To impress my friends. To just have that title of being in a relationship. Did it impact my education? Yes, because I was just focused on boys.
Right.
And now even that I'm in between 18 and 20, I understand when my family anyone really tells me, oh, like, you have all your life. Like, I was like, no, but I love him. And yeah. But let me tell you, based on experience, I was very lost, and therefore, even if I'm very independent on my own, like I worked, I have my own money, and I was not dependent on my parents for anything really, you can easily be influenced by that person. And they can keep you from doing things that you never thought you wanted. They're taking time. I'm at George Brown College, and I was influenced. I didn't know really, and I was influenced in kind of like doing HR because I was like, yeah, I know how to talk, and my boyfriend was doing HR. But deep inside, was that the thing that I wanted, or was that the only thing I knew?
Yeah.
That was the only thing I knew, and I was kind of influenced because, oh, my boyfriend was there, you know? When now we are no longer together,
you kind of have that clear mindset.
I have a clear mindset, and I am not making decisions based on my relationship or on him. And sometimes you love that person so much that all you want is to be with that person. But that's the thing. I am independent, but I'm still at a very lost situation. That made me not make the right decisions in my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school. I wasn't sure if that program was the right program for me. I was just constantly following his steps. And so if you are at that stage where you are lost, like, you can be in a relationship, but for me, I like to be in a serious relationship. Yeah. I want to see myself marrying that person and having kids. I don't see myself having fun only with that person because I don't want to be hurt. If, you know, just to conclude, when your parents tells you, not like to tell you not to be in a relationship, but they advise you not to be in one. Now that I'm older, I understand because you kind of have more freedom to explore, more time for yourself. And, you know, sometimes what is the thing with relationship is that that person you have to be happy on your own, and that person just makes you happier. We need to wrap things up. Okay.
We'll talk about parents more later.
Yeah, we'll talk about relationship more later.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of tea in relationships, huh?
Okay, let's wrap things up. So, thank you guys for listening to our second episode.
Yeah. I think they're coming to get us. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, guys, we're going to be murdered soon.
But thank you guys so much for listening. Follow us on Instagram at The Souls Harbor.
And on YouTube,
And subscribe, like, share, whatever you want.
We YouTubers.
And stay safe and healthy.
Yes, please stay home.
Stay home.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Wave.
Oh, we're waving.
Wave.
Vou te contar.